Disclaimer: everything in here is my opinion and taking South Park too seriously. If I made a mistake or you disagree with me, please be respectful while addressing it in the comments. Thank you! Lack of political correctness has always been the main critique against South Park, due to offensive language and actions portrayed on the show. PC Principal, introduced in Season 19, is not only my favorite character in South Park, and the character I put in the Hear Me Out cake I did with my cousin, but also he is a character who is characterized by the term political correctness. Because I somehow never realized that PC in PC Principle stands for political correctness until I showed my script to my mom and she pointed it out to me, so thanks mom. His role is to police other characters' language and to punish them for discriminating expressions. Moreover, he is used as a representation for performative activism.
Excuse me, did you or did you not say that this man seemed tired?
Yes, he's my friend. I said, Paulo, you look tired.
Microaggression! Persons of Hispanic backgrounds have been stereotyped as being sleepy, and saying they look tired is a microaggression that will not stand!
But I am tired.
Performative activism is when people participate in activism for personal benefit instead of being driven by their genuine intention to change the system. PC Principle is established to be driven by the ideas of performative activism early on. It is seen in Season 19, Episode 1, Stunning and Brave.
What does being PC really mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means you love nothing more than beer, working out, and that feeling you get when you rhetorically defend a marginalized community from systems of oppression.
This is a verbal clue that points it out. PC Principle's political correctness derives from the selfish desire to feel like the morally correct person in the crowd. It is seen as the last part of his speech is a definition of performative activism instead of being politically correct. The lack of actual care about the issues of said marginalized groups is further established by the beer and working out comments coming first, leaving the last part as an afterthought. An example of PC Principle's performative activism towards the disabled community is Season 19, Episode 8, Sponsored Content. The episode is about PC Principle trying to prove his political correctness to Jimmy Birch, a child with disabilities. Well, he's not really good at this.
I just saw a copy of the school newspaper in which a student used the word refer to our cafeteria lunch policy. The word wrong in our school! Who is in charge of the school paper? Because I'm about to break their fucking legs!
He's in charge of the school paper. You gonna break his legs, PC Principal?
This can be seen through the argument between Jimmy and PC Principal. They have an argument over Jimmy publishing an R-word in the school paper. PC Principal is against the usage of any offensive terms, while Jimmy believes that the R-word should be allowed in the newspaper because it expresses the actual opinion of the student on the school cafeteria food.
That was an op-ed piece in the paper written by a first grader who found the school lunch policy to be ridiculous, and he best word to describe it. As the editor of the paper, I didn't think it was right to censor the words the student used. I don't want people to be afraid of words if it stops them from having a dialogue.
PC Principal does not understand how Jimmy is not offended by someone using a term that discriminates against the disabled community, as he is a disabled person. Later in the episode, PC Principal and his PC community invite children with disabilities from the South Park Elementary to a party to celebrate brave children with disabilities.
Tonight's a very special night for the PCs. We're honored to be throwing this event for people with disabilities. I, for one, am sick of how these amazing kids are marginalized in today's society, but tonight is about learning and healing. So let's get to it! PC! PC!
It is an attempt to show their care for them as an oppressed group. However, going against their positive intentions, most of the men there use their intolerance towards discrimination to attract women, ignoring the invited children.
Hey guys, I'm Brad. I'm PC Arizona State.
Nice to meet you, Brad. Where do you
Excuse me a second. Hello, ladies. Thanks for coming to our event.
Hi.
We're just tired of the way people with disabilities get treated. Can I get you some alcohol? Yeah, you know, it just bugs me when people refer to persons with disabilities as handicapped. When I hear that word, I want to punch them in the face.
That's so cool of you, wow.
Yeah, To be marginalizing persons with disabilities by asking them what their handicap is a microaggression no better than asking a person of color if they went to college.
Wow, you're really progressive.
No other way to be. So, listen, I think you're really pretty and interesting, and I'd kind of like to take you upstairs and totally crush your pussy. Would that be acceptable to you?
These two scenes reveal several things about the PC community that correlate with the term performative activism. These are their desire to be worshipped by the public for their progressiveness and their ableism.
Kind of like to take you upstairs and totally crush your pussy.
There are several things that point out this first factor. For instance, PC Principal's inability to listen to a person from the marginalized group he is trying to protect. PC Principal's inability to comprehend that a person a part of a discriminated minority does not praise him for his progressiveness is an example of performative activism.
But why would a person with a disability not see that what I'm trying to do is actually protect them?
Sometimes victims of oppression are so marginalized that they begin to sympathize with their oppressors.
Yeah, bro. You're right. This kid just needs to be shown he's being an Uncle Abel. I can always count on my PC frat brothers to have my back. Let's go, PC! PC!
For PC Principal, appearing politically correct is a way to establish himself as a better person that should be constantly praised and respected for that. Another example of this is the party scene. It reveals that all the men in the PC community of South Park use their progressiveness for a personal benefit.
Totally crush your pussy.
They do not put any effort into supporting the marginalized communities around them, even just acknowledging the children they invited. In their mind, they fulfill their share of volunteering by claiming that this party was done in support of disabled children.
I am not uncomfortable!
The second aspect of PC Principal's performative activism that has been revealed is his unacceptance of people of the marginalized groups he is protecting. He's kinda uncomfortable with all of them, to be honest, like women and people of color and LGBTQ+ community, but in the sake of this study, I'm mostly gonna talk about the disabled community. It is shown through him looking uncomfortable while talking to Jimmy, a disabled person. Despite claiming himself to be politically correct, which implies viewing everyone equally, he talks down to Jimmy just at the mere fact that he is physically disabled. PC Principal uses an explanatory language targeted towards kindergarten children, saying,
You see, the R word is very bad. When you use the R word to describe the school's lunch policy, it can hurt people's hearts. Can you understand that at all?
A similar thing happens later when PC Principal asks Nathan to come speak with Jimmy.
And that's why I brought in another young person with disabilities to share his feelings. Thanks for coming in to talk to us, Nathan. Nathan, could you tell Jimmy how you feel when people use the word?
It hurts my feelings because I feel bad. Are you serious right now?
You feel bad, right? You feel like that's a no-no word, right?
That word makes my heart piss its pants.
Okay, wow, that's pretty heavy. Pretty heavy, huh, Jim?
PC Principal implies that Jimmy is incapable of processing complex information and making correct decisions. This idea strives from his ableism. This is further proved by PC Principal's overreaction to being asked if he is uncomfortable around disabled people.
You want to ask him what he means by that, or are you just pandering because you're uncomfortable around disabled people?
In both instances, he starts stuttering and shouting that he is not uncomfortable, yet his body language and expressions implies otherwise.
I am not uncomfortable! I simply care about a horrible, outdated word that is exclusive, ignores individuality, and equates intellectual disability with being in it. Spot! I need a spotter! Spot me! Somebody spot me, bro! And it's part of a derogatory hate speech which fosters isolation and loneliness, and being part of a voice to stop the R word is not only right but extremely important.
The creator's intention while creating the character of PC Principal and the PC community in South Park is to make fun of the critics of the show. Yet again, what's, usually going on in the show, to be honest. Creators bring awareness to the topic of performative activism and how it doesn't actually solve the issue at hand, the R word being published, but rather makes the situation worse. Creators of the show try and met humiliated fake progressive advocates whose only participation in these activities indicates the bare minimum or strives from personal benefit. But being for real right now, this is South Park. Don't take anything said here as super serious. Most of the things done in the show are for shits and giggles. But I hope you like this. I think PC Principal should not be hear me out. I think people should. I don't know why people don't support me on this decision. I think he's pretty hot.